What's up, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing day, and I just want to take the time to share some value with you guys, to provide you guys with value, because I know how hard it can be to be handed an informational guide or just learn about an opportunity and then not know where to go next. Suddenly you're looking at 50 different people and you're trying to learn from them and them and them and them and them and them, and they're saying this and they're saying this and they're saying this, and you're like, oh, which one do I do? And it's like an informational overload, okay? And a lot of times the information overload can actually keep you from success. You get boggled down, and I want to help alleviate some of that for you guys and walk you through some free training. So the first video, no matter where you're at in your influencer journey, this is still going to be a really good video for you guys to watch, okay? It's about creating good content. And I know some of you are probably like, yeah, creating good content, that's what everybody says. I know, right? I was the same way. When me and my wife jumped in, we messaged hundreds of large influencers and asked for advice. 99% of them that got back with us responded with this: create good content. That was the easiest, simplest thing they could say to us. And at that time, I'm like, yeah, sure, that's what got you so big. That's what got you successful. All you did was create good content. And then I'm thinking, like, I see little accounts with really good content and they're not in the position that you are. There was something missing. As I grew, I discovered that this is one of the foundational elements, but it's the one on the front end. The other foundational element is backing your content up, getting your content out there, the reach, the hashtags, the algorithm, okay? And it doesn't matter if you know all that back-end stuff if you don't create good content, because if you're using all that back-end stuff to push crap content, it's not going to get you very far. So I want to go over some elements. If you're involved in marketing at all, you'll understand this a little bit better, or you may have heard some of these things that I'm teaching, but hang in there, okay? The first thing, real quick, I want to talk about presets. Depending on when you're watching this video, my wife is actually in the process of developing some preset bundles. So if you've already purchased them, then disregard this. If you're watching this and you're interested in the presets, contact her at The Parent Trail. Let me put her thing up. It'll also be in the email, The Parent Trail with 2 T's, The Parent Trail on Instagram, and ask her about her presets, okay? And again, depending on when you're watching this video, I don't know if you've seen the sales page or whatnot, but send her a message. Presets are very important. Let me tell you why. If you don't have them, if you do have them, again, disregard this part. But when I landed on a page, when I was talking to all these big influencers and I was landing on their page, I was like, dang, their page looks good. Like, it looks clean. This is good. I didn't know it was because of the preset. I just got on their page and I'm like, wow, it's something about their page. And that's the same mentality that a lot of businesses and other people are going to have, okay? Whether they know it subliminally or they directly know that that is the preset, they're going to be like, hey, this page looks really good, or they're going to be like, hey, that's a good preset. So it is very important to look clean and to look themed, okay? It could be make it or break it for businesses. It can help you when you're producing all the content. It can help you get followers, because if people land on your page and you're kind of all over the place with colors and everything, they're like, eh. But if you're nice and themed and clean, they're gonna be like, ooh, I want to follow this account. And so that's foundational. Second thing I want to talk about real quick is a camera. Okay, and don't worry about investing in a camera right off the bat. We didn't invest in a camera until we got about 10,000 followers, because my wife started turning into a real good income stream, and we were like, all right, it's time to reinvest in ourselves. So we invested in a camera, and we bought the Sony A6300. I'll share a link in the description of this video to the bundle we got, because we went to a store and they told us, hey, no, don't buy it off Amazon, buy it here. And I'm like, okay, but you got a bundle? And they're like, no, but you can buy this and buy this and buy this and buy this, and it added up like this massive price. I'm like, but I got all that in a bundle. I could get all that in a bundle on Amazon for like way cheaper. And he's like, yeah, but that's Chinese products. And I'm like, I bet I can find one that has a really good product. So that's what I did. I went in and I researched for hours until I finally found this really good bundle with a nice tripod. Came with a bag. The bag's actually sitting right here. Came with screen protectors, memory card wallet, an extra memory card, battery, an extra battery charging thing. I don't know if that, yeah, the battery charging kit with the couple extra batteries. It came with a lot of stuff. I can't think of it all right off the bat, but I'll put the link in the description. You can check out the bundle. It's a really nice bundle. And anyways, we're going to move on to talk about the cameras versus phones real quick. This is why you're going to want a camera, because when we were taking pictures with our phones all the time, we were getting phone calls, and then we would miss the shot. Our phones would start dying. Our phones would, when they got low battery, sometimes they would freeze up, or if you're taking too much pictures too fast. And we have the iPhone 8 Plus, and I know some of the newer iPhones are slightly better, but they cannot compare to a camera. A camera is going to help you out in many, many ways, okay? Because, first of all, no matter what phone you have, if you have the newest iPhone, it still doesn't compare to a camera. It doesn't. They can't quite get that into phones yet. They will at some point. I really believe phones will ultimately replace cameras. People won't really need cameras anymore, at least for the day-to-day use. Maybe, for like, if you're getting really heavily in the photography, you're always going to need a camera. But anyways, it's very important that you think about this in the future, investing in a camera if you don't already have one. You don't have to get one of those big bulky DSLRs or whatever they are. You can get like what I got, the Sony Digital, and it takes 4K video. I'd show you, but I'm recording on it right now. And then it has the, I don't even know what resolution photos. I don't know anything about photography. Me and my wife aren't photographers. Like, you look at her page, you're like, dang, those are good photos. And she's in a lot of them. You know who takes those photos? I do. But I'm not a photographer. Like, I do educate myself, and I advise you guys to educate yourself. Go watch some YouTube videos about taking pictures, lightings and angles, and kind of learn that stuff. And this is going to be it's going to be continually progressing as you guys grow, and as you guys go on your journey. You're going to get better and better and better. So don't worry about it too much in the beginning if you're like, oh, I don't know anything, because I still don't really know anything about a camera, honestly. I just go in there and I snap pictures. But do think about investing in a camera in the future. Keep that in mind. Especially, like I said, once they started paying us, we're like, you know what, we got to step our game up. We got to get a camera. We got to do better photos. We're always looking for a way to improve ourselves. So let's get into the actual principles and elements, okay? So you got your photo or your video, your actual content piece, your image. That is your first thing. If you're doing a video, I'm going to give you a real quick tip. If you got a Mac, or if you got Windows, you got Windows Movie Maker, what you do is take a snapshot of the very first scene in your picture, or a thumbnail. Take a snapshot of some point in the video, then take that picture, drop your preset on it, and then drop that picture in the front of your video on whatever system you're using, whether it's your Mac. They have a free program, I don't even know what it's called, iMac, or I don't know. My wife has a Mac and I use Windows. So whatever that is, Windows Movie Maker is what I use on Windows. You can just drop it in there. I also have a paid program that I use on Windows. But anyways, drop that thumbnail, that preset. So then when you put that on your page, your video is not this like random dark or off-toned image. It matches your theme, okay? Just a quick tip on that. So you got your photo. Again, think about all the things, angles, lighting. Constantly be thinking of how you can take better pictures. Don't just wing it. Treat it like a business. If you treat this like a business, it will pay out like a business, okay? In a couple of years, you could be making 6 figures, and that's not a joke. This is highly scalable and very real. Like, there are so many people who scaled up and they're making 6-figure incomes from Instagram, okay? And it starts out with paid influencing, but it opens up many other doors, okay? Paid influencing is just the beginning. So you got your photo, you take a good photo, and then, beneath that you got your caption. These are the elements of your content, right? So I don't know how much you know about marketing, but there is this acronym called AIDA. And almost every marketer worldwide, every business uses these principles because they work. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. Okay? And a lot of times your photo or video is going to capture the interest and the attention. Your question and story. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there a little bit. You want to, a really good strategy is to start your post off with a question. Because when you do that, you're instantly compelling people to engage with your content, which is driving the action principle. You're getting them to act by engaging. So you started off with a question, like, I'm trying to think of an example real quick here. Okay, so you're planting your garden. I'm just coming up with this on the whim because we plan our garden. The girls help us, okay? So you're planting your garden, and you get your kids are helping you plant your garden. So you get a really good photo of them planting the plants, okay? Of putting the plants in or covering up the dirt, whatever the angle is. You get a really good photo of that. And then your question is, do your kids love to help you plant, or who else has their kids, teaches their kids how to garden? Or, some kind of question or that, or have you ever showed your kid how to take care of a plant? I don't know, an engaging, somewhat question like that. But when I see questions in the beginning, I'm instantly compelled to act upon them, okay? Because the average character length for posts is 250 characters. That 250 characters gets the best engagement. And why I'm saying this is because a lot of people tell their whole story, and then they'll put the question at the bottom, and you're wasting space there if you put your question at the bottom. Because I'm telling you right now, because I personally use Instagram every day, if it's not something that is highly relatable to me, oftentimes I won't read through the entire story. I'm not a blog reader. I would rather watch vlogs, okay? I don't enjoy reading lengthy posts. And that's how a lot of people are nowadays. Instagram is you want to get on there, kind of read it, get the point, a couple paragraphs. If you have a really long story, you can highlight up on it and then finish it in your blog. Don't make it too long. And when you do that and your question is hidden at the bottom, some people may never get there. But a lot of times I will answer questions and engage on a post without even reading the rest of the story. I'll just see there and I'll engage on it, and then I'll move to the next one, okay? So it's very important that you start it off with a question. And I know I just got a little discombobulated there, but I hope that makes sense to you guys. Start off with a question. And then in this next spot is where you have your story, okay? Now you really want to practice storytelling. Storytelling is going to be very important. It can make or break your content after you get them interested, okay? And your storytelling is where you're gonna drive that desire. So your story is, every year my children love to help me. Every year my children get so excited to help us plant the garden. They love to watch the plants start to sprout up and water them and tend to them and talk about how it teaches them responsibility, and as it grows they're so excited, and then they go and weed around it because they got to take care of that plant. It's their baby, they got to take care of it, and they weed around it, and they make sure that no bugs are eating it, or they try to. You can write a really compelling story, and then you can talk about how they love to then after a couple weeks when they start getting big and they start blooming, they get like a fulfillment, and they're excited, and you see that smile on their face, how proud they are of the plant that they raised. And why I'm saying it to you like this is because the other way you could be like, yeah, my kids help me with the garden every year. They love to plant the plants. It's exciting. Or they love I'm trying to think of another way. So every year our kids love to help us plant our garden. They usually help us, dig the holes and put the seeds in and plant it, and they love to watch them grow. Like, do you see what I'm trying to get at here? And I'm trying to do this as I go. I'll put more thought into it, obviously, in a post. But I just want to show you guys the difference of storytelling. Like, you can fulfill somebody's desire, because then if you tell that story good, they're like, oh, you know what? I never thought about it that way. I want to plant some plants with my children, because that will teach them responsibility, and that is like a fulfillment thing that they'll get to experience by taking care of something and watching it grow, and then watch it produce. If it's a vegetable garden, watch it produce actual vegetables, and they go harvest the vegetable and eat dinner. So like they grew their own food, and then they got to eat it, and that's just like a whole process that they get to go through. But depending on how you tell that story, you're either gonna get people engaged, or it's gonna mean nothing to them, which means your content sucks. Like even if it could be the same post and picture and just a different story, and it could be a massive difference in your engagement because of that little story, okay? So I just want to highlight upon storytelling, and you'll get better as you go, okay? I promise. So, and like I said, a lot of the times desire is going to be fulfilled in that story. So now I want to get into providing value. And this ties into, the story I just told you or tried to tell you. Providing value, because value builds influence. Okay? Never forget that. Value builds influence. The more value you provide people, the more influence you're going to build over them, the larger you're going to grow your core following. And your core following is very important because, again, paid collaborations are just the beginning. When you want to monetize later down the road, you're going to have thousands of people who follow your content that will be core followers and core fans of yours, okay? And that is going to be key to monetizing beyond paid collaborations, to whatever you do down the road, develop, a health and wellness program or whatever. You can monetize your passions through Instagram in almost any way, okay? And I teach a lot about that in my course. Throughout my entire course, I talk about setting up, laying the foundations so you can do that. Anyways, getting a little off track there. So value builds influence, and I want to talk about that for a minute real quick. You don't always have to be the man on the mountain, the person up top, okay? You can provide value by sharing your vulnerabilities, by sharing your experiences and your trials. Actually, that's how you're gonna build the most influence. That's how you're gonna provide the most value, by helping people with something that you've struggled with, okay? And another way is through storytelling like that, through good storytelling, you're able to provide value because you'll open somebody's eyes to an idea or help them, with their children. Another thing is share with what you are directly struggling with now. Say you're struggling with potty training. Because when people are able to come in and leave their 2 cents and their opinions and give you value, that fulfills them. So you're providing them with value by leaving yourself open for advice. Anyways, I just wanted to highlight that you don't always have to be in the upper position. You could be asking for advice. You can be the person who is unsure. You want to share all parts of your life. It's very important. I call it life casting. Somebody else actually coined the name. I don't know who. I heard it through other experts. Life casting. You're sharing your entire life as a whole. They don't just want to see the bright side of your life or one piece of your life. What builds influence is showing all sections of your life and really connecting with people. In another way, let me list off some ways, is scriptures. Instead of a question, they put scripture in there. And I know there's an account that I follow. They only have like 100 some followers. They provide me with the most value. They have the most influence over me because they are my daily devotional. Every single day I look forward to seeing their, sometimes they have scripture in the caption, sometimes they have it in the image, sometimes it's not scripture, it's just like a quote. That's another thing, is quotes. You can do quotes or scriptures instead of the questions. I absolutely love reading posts that just seeing the picture and then reading the post, because scriptures and quotes provide me massive value. It's a good reminder. I'm like, hey, you know what? That's right. Like, I need to take a step back and think about this situation or think about whatever the scripture is talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's a daily reminder. And sometimes I see the one person that posts the scripture, they post multiple times a day. So it's a really good reminder for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Like, that's in my brain. I got to remember that. And it provides me with value, and that's something I absolutely love. You're going to realize a lot of the times how you're going to excel in this is, first of all, you're going to model success. You're going to look at the people who are already doing it. And the second thing you're going to want to do is reverse engineer them. After you model success, you're going to reverse engineer what they're doing. So you got scriptures, quotes. It could be storyboards. The people that do storyboards, because they do, a lot of times they'll tie scripture or quotes into their storyboards, or they'll be humorous. Providing people with a smile, that's building value. That's providing value. You know, you made them happy, you made them laugh, you made them smile. That's That's building influence. So you could do humor, relatability. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. Let's just say it is. Relatability, okay? So, right off the bat, posts that are very relatable, that a lot of people struggle with, or a lot of people deal with. A lot of people, like, my wife can highly relate to the post about laundry. She hates doing laundry. So when she sees a post about laundry, it's like amusing to her, or she wants to engage with it because that's something that she highly relates about, and it's a pain point in their life. So if you can highlight upon pain points, that's another one. A pain point. And a pain point is again, something a lot of people commonly struggle with. So if you can highlight pain points, certain things in your life that's like annoying or a pain to you, it's not necessarily like it could be like the laundry. I mean, that's something little. It doesn't have to be something huge, but it's a little pain point that a lot of people can relate to. Okay, relatability. Again, I don't even know if that's a word. Let's just say relatable. Relatable posts. And that pretty much sums it up for this lesson. And as you go on, you're going to develop a uniqueness, kind of like the people with the storyboards. You'll be known for the person that puts scriptures in there. You'll be known for the person who does a lot of quotes, or the person who does the storyboards. And don't worry about nailing that down right at the beginning. Test different things. Find out what works for you. What do you enjoy doing? How do you enjoy structuring your content? But I can't exactly map that out for you, but what I can do is give you guys some of the principles of creating good content, okay? And I really hope you take this to heart. I hope you follow these, because they will make a difference in your posts, okay? This video will make a difference if you apply the stuff that I'm talking about. And the next thing I want to mention real quick is a little bit about my course, okay? My course goes over all of this stuff and so much more. It's over 8 hours of video content, and it's an evergreen, evolving content. I'm an active mentor. I only let so many people in my course at one time because I'm an active mentor, and after people get on their feet or are experiencing success, then I'll let more in, because then I don't have to tend to them as much. You know, I try to hold you guys accountable. I try to be there. Any questions, me and my wife are there to support our members. And I just want to let you guys know that we do have a course, and it's all, I teach, chapter 1 is all about the strategies and tactics and methods of getting how we got 10,000 followers within 6 months. And then chapter 2 is all about being a paid influencer, the structure, direct outreach, how to keep a flow of paid collaborations, contracts, legalities, all that good stuff, okay? And then chapter 3 is about taking it to the next level, further monetizing, opening up multiple streams of income beyond paid collaboration. So if you guys can, want to check that out, if you're interested, feel free to contact my wife or me at Captivate Dad Life, and we'd be happy to have you guys. And I'm excited for you guys to go through this free training, and I really hope it helps. The next video is about optimization and diversification, and the video after that is going to be about flying under the radar in the algorithm. And in the algorithm video, I also share a little bit of a hashtag strategy. And then after that, I share with you in the next video is the key to success, okay? And it's a really, really, really good video. It's something that is required no matter what if you want to be successful at this. And then the video after that, I'm going to give you guys some insight to some growth strategies, how to actually start building your following, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'm so glad you're a part of this. I'm glad to see you interested in this opportunity, because it is absolutely amazing. It's highly scalable, and it's very real. We don't have to recruit people. You don't have to sell products. You can affiliate market for some of these businesses, but you don't have to. You don't have to do any of that. All we do is post pictures of their products, and we work with major businesses and brands worldwide. It's an absolute amazing opportunity, and I will see you guys in the next video.